Welcome to Central Georgia Focus as we zoom in on the 2024 general election. I'm your host today, Raymond Tubb, and today we are giving you a chance to hear from the candidates running for the 2nd Congressional District of the United States House of Representatives. We have with us Congressman Sanford Bishop, who is from Columbus. He serves on several congressional committees, and he's running for a 17th term in Congress. His challenger, Wayne Johnson, a Macon businessman who worked in the U.S. Department of Education under former President Donald Trump. And we have the two candidates separately today. Each is going to get the same questions in the same amount of time to answer those questions. Joining us now to start us off is Wayne Johnson. And first, we'll give you a few seconds to tell us about yourself.
Well, first of all, I am Dr. Wayne Johnson. I'm from Macon, Georgia. Grew up, born, raised here. Went to Lanier, went to Mercer. Married my sweetheart in the 7th grade. Came back about 30 years ago, and we own some businesses here. And now I'm running to be the congressional representative for Middle and Southwest Georgia.
And of course, the area is big for agriculture, and there are a lot of challenges, though, facing our farmers and people in that district. So we also have climate-related issues, low productivity, new technology coming in that they have to get up to speed with. What are some of the things you think is needed to kind of help farmers stay productive and even turn things around for them that are struggling?
It's extremely straightforward. We got to pass the farm bill. If you pass the farm bill, grocery prices go down. If you pass the farm bill, farmers know what to expect and how to plan for it. And passing the farm bill is critical, and that's one of the things that I will do the first year in office. And sadly, it's one of the things that my opponent has not done, even though he sits on 2 important agriculture committees. So pass the farm bill.
And you kind of touched on it a little bit, but another thing that a lot of people are feeling right now is inflation that affects food and food prices. And so what kind of issues or ideas do you have in mind to try to tackle inflation?
It's not a matter of inflation, it's a matter of affordability. Right now, people are just suffering from prices. I've got a plan to put people in a brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bath house for less than $1,000 a month. I got a plan to put people in cars for less than $200 a month. If you got wheels, you can get to the opportunity. So basically, inflation at the very practical levels boils down to, can I afford what I got to spend to buy something tomorrow morning? So my plans are to head-on address affordability and pricing.
So what do you believe needs to be done to help improve the economy and create better job opportunities for Georgians as well?
Well, one of the most important things is it creates job opportunities of paid apprenticeships. You know, it's better to get paid to learn than it is to pay to learn. And unfortunately, I've got a PhD, a doctorate in higher education leadership. I worked with Secretary DeVos. We focused on apprenticeships and internships. And what we learned is instead of going to the classroom, if you actually go to work for a master craftsman or a journeyman in a particular trade, whether it be automobile mechanics or even culinary arts, you're going to learn. And I've got a plan and a program to actually pay people at least a minimum of $18 an hour to actually learn those trades so that they can go to work. And then if they're going to get a job, they need wheels. So I come back to everybody needs to ride. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, I used to administer $110 billion of direct loans when I was at the Department of Education overseeing the student loan system. If we could put out direct loans for, you know, people to basically attend college, and in many cases rack up $200,000 in doing so, we can put out a direct program to get people in cars.
Well, how do you see the infrastructure dollars that are coming to Georgia and this state? What needs to be done there?
Well, the infrastructure dollars that are coming to Georgia from the federal level are abysmally weak. They're not focusing on some of the practical things. For example, truck drivers running down the highway, they got to have rest stops. We don't have adequate rest stops. We've got plenty of room on the interstate system. We need to put in free rest stops so truckers can actually rest. The power grid is tremendously stressed, and quite frankly, you know, everybody is just blown away with the increases in electricity prices that have ostensibly been because we put in nuclear power. Nuclear power is a powerful thing. High prices associated with being justified by putting in nuclear power is a terrible thing. You get back to the farmers earlier. I've been talking to every farmer throughout Georgia, up and down. To farm in Georgia, you need to irrigate your farmland. In order to irrigate your farmland, you got to have water. So I've got a plan for deep water well irrigation that can be financed by farmers. Also, it takes electricity to drive those pumps. And so basically, we've got to get electricity prices down, both for the farmer and for the homeowner.
Well, let's talk for a moment about rural health care as well. A
Yep.
big challenge, especially in the second district. A lot of rural areas, a lot of health problems that go with poverty and high blood pressure, diabetes, other challenges that you see. What's your idea for addressing some of those challenges?
Well, it's not only the issues you talked about, it's just the dietary issues, but at the end of the day, we've got entire counties that do not have health care facilities in the second district. Second district is huge. It runs from Georgia down to Thomasville, over to Bainbridge, up to Columbus and back. It's the second largest geographic congressional district east of the Mississippi, second only to Mattoon, yet it's actually the least populated, and quite frankly is losing in population for lots of reasons. But get back to health care. I used to own 200 primary care health care offices. And so again, we don't have the health care facilities in counties. People don't have the cars to be able to go to the health care that may be in the next county. By the way, we got counties that don't even have grocery stores. We've got places in Macon that don't even have grocery stores. So I've got plans to put neighborhood grocery stores in place. But to get back to the health care, if you can't bring the health care to the people, you got to give people the wheels to be able to get to the health care.
All right. Well, this is going to be right in your wheelhouse. What are your plans for education? Because we've got more and more high-tech jobs coming in. A lot of people, it's lifetime learning for a lot of jobs that are out there, and lifetime of getting skills. So, what are your plans to help people with education?
Well, first of all, we've got to make sure that we're giving everybody maximum Pell Grants. And I've got a plan for $10,000 per person Pell Grants, not constrained by what your economic status will be. A Pell Grant that can be then used for either higher education, or it can actually be used for jobs training. I'm really focused on, like I said earlier, putting people into paid apprenticeships, and then in addition to that, I'm really focused on making sure that we just don't continue to beat the drum that you got to go to college, and take on debt, not knowing what you're going to go for. So I'm really focused on making sure people are aware of what the outcome of their economic pursuit will be, and then we power in that. Then at the K-12 level, kindergarten through 12th grade level, I'm really supportive of school vouchers. I want to commend the state of Georgia and the governor for signing the $6,500 voucher for people that are in the lower 25% of the schools. It's not enough. We got to complement that with some federal dollars. So I want to amp up and actually put a federal voucher overlay on top of the state overlay, on top of the state voucher.
Of course, when you talk to people out in the community, I know with our 13 listening labs, crime often comes up. People concerned about the crime rates. They've dropped some with the violent crime, but you argue there's still too much out there right now. What are your plans to try to address crime? I know it's not always that much at the federal level that you can do, but what
There's a tremendous amount the federal level could do. The federal level, first of all, a congressman has a bully pulpit. They can convene people, they can bring people together, they can have the conversations. I'll be bringing all the mayors and all the sheriffs of the district together to talk about this very issue, how we can address it on a consolidated basis, how we can bring federal dollars to play. One of the things I have come up with is a plan on how to help law enforcement officials to actually gain access to a federal pension. That helps to make their effective pay higher. We have got to pay our law enforcement people more money in order to attract more people, and quite frankly to have them stay in the business, because it is a dangerous business. When it gets down to crime is personal, it's community, and then of course it's on a broader basis. I live in an area of Macon where it's not too often that very often we hear gunshots and find out the next day somebody has been seriously injured because of that. I was in one of my elements of my district over off of McKenzie Drive, and there's a young man there that had an altercation with somebody, and about once a month his house gets shot up. And of course they call the police or the sheriff says they can't do anything about it. They put out cameras. So there's all kinds of stuff that we got to focus on, but what we really got to do is use the convening power to cause a genuine focus to come in on it. And then also we got to realize that unfortunately illegal immigration is adding to our crime mix. These people come here, most of them are extraordinarily good people. However, they're not here legally, and because they're not here legally, they don't have a source of income. Because they don't have a source of income, they go try and find property that they can convert into cash. So at the end of the day, it's both federal attention to it and certainly local attention to it.
All right. Well, what final thoughts did you want to share with the voters? We've got just about a minute left.
The first thing I would say is I really give a damn about people and businesses in Georgia's 2nd Congressional District. And when we say Georgia's 2nd Congressional District, we're talking about Macon, we're talking about Albany, we're talking about Columbus, we're talking about Cuthbert, Georgia, we're talking about all the people in town that make up this district. My opponent has been there for 32 years, and he's going to try and convince you that just because he's been there for 32 years, he should get 2 more years. Don't vote about what has been. Vote about vote for the person that you believe in your heart is going to make the situation better for you 2 years from now. And if I haven't done that in 2 years, I don't want you to re-elect me, but I really want the opportunity to show to you in the next 2 years what I can do.
All right, Wayne Johnson, appreciate you joining us, 2nd Congressional District candidate, and we will be back to hear from the incumbent, Sanford Bishop, in just a moment.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Central Georgia Focus. I'm your host this week, Raymond Tubb, and throughout this half hour, we're giving you a chance to hear from the candidates running for the 2nd Congressional District in Georgia. Macon businessman and Republican Wayne Johnson is challenging Democratic Congressman Sanford Bishop from Columbus, and you're hearing from both candidates separately, each receiving the same questions, the amount of time to answer. You just heard from candidate Wayne Johnson, and now we are joined by Congressman Sanford Bishop, who is here today. And Congressman, thank you for joining us, first of all.
Glad to be here.
Appreciate you having you here, but we want to first begin by giving you a couple minutes to just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, it has been an honor and a privilege for me to represent the people of the 2nd Congressional District in Washington. It is a public trust of responsibility to work for and in behalf of the people. God has blessed me with strong tools, a degree in political science, training experience as a lawyer, legislative experience in the State House, State Senate, and in Congress. Tools which have enabled me to use the legislative process to improve the lives of people and communities. I've been able to use the process to bring billions of dollars of our hard-earned tax dollars back to Middle and Southwest Georgia to improve our schools, to build roads, to expand broadband, to make health care more accessible, to strengthen our law enforcement and support our local law enforcement, and to strengthen our national defense. I've been able to use the process to fight for and keep jobs at Robins Air Force Base, Fort Benning, now Fort Moore, the Albany Marine Logistics Base, and those bases are key to our national security, and they support our local economies tremendously. I've been able to use the process to support our military and civilian personnel, veterans and their families. And of course, I have been able to use the process to support agriculture. Agriculture is the biggest driver of our state's economy. And of course, I've been able to use that process to make sure that that economic engine churns and continues to churn, particularly as we work into the Farm Bill, which our farmers so desperately need now.
Yep, and on that note, agriculture industry, a big part of the state's budget and the gross national product, but farmers facing a lot of challenges right now too. You've got climate-related issues, productivity, lack of access to new technology in some cases. What measures do you believe are needed to help turn things around for our farmers?
The first thing that we need to do is we need to pass the Farm Bill. That's the 5-year blueprint, and it's overdue, but it will provide a safety net for our producers, for our rural communities and will be an opportunity to keep our farmers able to continue to produce the highest quality, the safest, the most abundant, and the most affordable food and fiber anywhere in the industrialized world.
Of course, when it comes to food too, a lot of people facing food insecurity right now. You've got inflation, the high prices, and a lot of stress on a lot of families. So what ideas do you have to help address that?
Well, certainly we've been working hard to improve the supply chain and to make sure that people have more funds available to pay. We also want to make sure that we accurately regulate the consolidated grocery industry. There's some claims out there that have been substantiated that there's been some price fixing and they've been gouging the public. So we want to make sure that that is adequately policed. But we also want to make sure that our infrastructure is sound so that we can keep costs down, and with the Inflation Reduction Act, if we can also lower costs at the grocery shelves, lower costs of health care and prescription drugs, for example, the reduction for our seniors of the cost of insulin to $35 a month, which is a big help, and of course for our seniors who are on Medicare, a cap of $2,000, which gives them more usable income. And it's a very challenging situation, but we're doing our dead level best now to try to get it under control. If you remember, we came out of a deep, deep hole with the pandemic. And of course, we had to bring the economy back from way, 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 way back below to where we are now. And we're the #1 economy in the world. Believe it or not, prices are high, and we're going to do everything we can to try to get that under control. Inflation is not accelerating at the rate that it was, and it's coming down. Interest rates are down, and we expect that people will, if we continue in the direction that we're going with what we're doing, I believe that we will get back to a very, very good place where people are thriving and people have the opportunity to reach their potential with a better quality of life.
Of course, the 2nd District, a lot of it is a rural district, and a lot of small towns in Georgia are getting smaller. What thoughts do you have on helping bring jobs and stabilizing populations in some of these small towns?
We have been doing that over the last several years. If you listen to the governor, if you listen to all of the new industries that have been coming to Georgia, many of them have been going to rural parts of Georgia. We've got the electric vehicle industry that's coming, and there are a number of industries that are supporting that. Even in the 2nd District, we're expanding over at Bluebird. We've got several industries down in the Bainbridge area that will be bringing new jobs, 400, 500, 600 jobs there, supporting the EV industry. And of course, if you look at Robbins and the base here and the military bases, Fort Benning and Fort Moore rather, and the Albany Marine base, those have strong economic impacts with lots of jobs. And so I believe that we are going to continue to grow our economy in rural America. In rural Georgia, we're also doing the health care. I've supported our rural hospitals, health care, telemedicine, the things to make life better there so that the quality of life will be amenable to bringing in new industries and working with people. There's a lot of investment, and we are supporting that investment, trying to make costs lower, particularly with our farmers and our rural communities and our rural businesses.
Okay, we've got a few minutes left, and so we've got a few more questions to get to still. First of all, infrastructure, the infrastructure bill and spending, what kind of things would you like to see done for rural Georgia?
We just passed a couple of years ago the infrastructure and jobs bill, which has put billions and billions of dollars all across the country and here in Georgia. Many thousands of jobs have been created, but on an infrastructure that has deteriorated over years. This is the first time in probably 2 generations that we've had this kind of investment in our infrastructure. And that, I think, is going to help us to be able to make American jobs thrive and keep our economy going so that we can make it in America and keep our people working.
You talked a little bit about health care. What other measures would you like to see to help improve health care in the district?
Well, we need to continue to provide, particularly in the 2nd District and in Georgia. We have a dearth of health care providers and health care in our rural communities, and of course supporting our rural hospitals, telemedicine. We've been able to invest in training and experience grants to Mercer University, Phoebe Hospital Systems, and other hospital systems, of the Medical College of Georgia, in training nurses, doctors, technicians, specifically to locate and to work in rural and underserved areas in Georgia. That will make a big difference. And if we can expand Medicaid, that would add many, many more people an opportunity to support our rural communities, our rural hospital, rural health care. But as a member of the Appropriations Committee, I'm in a position to really direct that funding, and that is a blessing that I have for our state, for our district, and for the country.
And when it comes to education, also very important for a lot of these different areas, especially for jobs and being ready for the high-tech jobs like the automotive industry, healthcare. What are your plans to help keep improving the education?
Well, we have invested millions and millions of dollars in all of the educational institutions in our state and of course in our district, from the American Rescue Plan through infrastructure. Every single one, our K through 12s, our colleges, our technical colleges, our universities, all of them have received great investments, and I've been in a pivotal position to allocate those resources through the Appropriations Committee.
All right, we've got about a minute left. In that time, got 2 things to hit. Wanted to talk briefly about crime and safety, and then, of course, your final thoughts that you want to leave with the voters.
Okay. Well, I've been a big supporter of law enforcement. We've invested tremendously in our rural communities, our smaller counties, with equipment, expenses. Many of our rural communities just don't have the tax base, so we've been able to provide them with communications equipment, broadband, the like, so that our first responders can have what they need. Also, with respect to the election.
Final thoughts, yes, sir.
Yeah, this is the job doesn't belong to me; it belongs to the people, and I believe that I have given good account for my stewardship. I believe that the people have great wisdom, and they'll make a good decision. I think that they will look at, compare my record with that of the opponent, and I think that I have a demonstrated record, a proven record, working for and in behalf of the people and delivering for the people of our area. Okay. And I look forward to continuing to serve them. Well,
I appreciate you joining us, Congressman Bishop. And right now we do have some very important voter information that we want to leave you with too. Remember, voting in the 2024 general election kicks off next week with early in-person voting. It starts on Tuesday, October the 15th, and the big general election day, of course, is November 5th. Very important. You should always check your voter registration and know your voting precinct location before you head to the polls. You can do all of that by checking the My Voter page or calling your county Board of Elections office. You can find our 2024 election guide online at 13WMAZ.com right now. It breaks down everything you need to know, from who and what will be on your ballot to important voting reminders. And we can also send that guide directly to your phone. Just text the word VOTE to 478-752-1309. And remember, don't call that number. Instead, text the word VOTE to that number. Well, stay with us. Coming up next, you're going to have a chance to hear from the candidates running for Houston County Sheriff's seat. Next on the second election edition of Central Georgia Focus. It's coming up at 12:30. We'll see you then.